A maternity ward in Bonner County, Idaho is closing its doors, forcing expectant mothers to travel many miles to deliver their babies safely. And this isn't just happening in Idaho. Maternity wards across the country are closing and at alarming rates. Why? A new report shows that since 2011, over 200 hospitals in the U.S. closed their labor and delivery departments. 13 of those closures were this year. It's causing panic for many expecting mothers and many care providers also, including my next guest, who's about to have her 7th kid and found out on Facebook the clinic where she was planning to give birth shutting its doors. Joining me now is expectant mom Leandra Wright, 7 months along, thank God, and may have to travel a long way. Also joining her, NewsNation's medical contributor, Dr. Dave Montgomery. Good to have you, Doc. Welcome to the team. First, to what matters most, which is Mama. How are you feeling? How is the baby?
We're good. Good, growing.
Good. And what did you learn, and how did you learn? How was it explained to you as to why your hospital resources were going away?
I read the local article on Facebook, and it cited a couple of different reasons, including our Idaho legislature, lack of funds, lack of pediatricians to take care of newborns, lack of doctors, pretty much. So it never made a whole lot of sense to me, any of the reasons, because it just creates a landslide of issues to come regardless of any of them. So.
Okay, so, and Leandra's not alone. Doc, in terms of the why, we'd heard something like this with one of the reasons that there's such an attrition among nurses, where they say, hey, there's like liability now. If we're performing services that women need and they're illegal in our state, we may be in trouble. Is this an extension of that same concern?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very complex. I think, you hit a really important point. I think that's part of the fallout of this whole issue. But it really is economic. I think it's economic on two sides. I think the hospitals are trying to figure out how, when almost half of their payments for deliveries come from Medicaid. Medicaid, Chris, pays about 40% of what private insurers would pay for a delivery. Now, think about that, right? I mean, you can hardly keep the lights on, let alone sort of get the high-quality, experienced providers, nurses, doctors, ICU staff to take care of people when they need it. This is also an economic decision for the maternal side, right? So the mom's got to sort of decide whether or not she can take off work, right? If she is a Medicaid recipient, the likelihood is that she's working. She might be saying, can I take off work? Am I going to be fired from my job? So we've got a lot of sort of complex issues here. And then the fallout, to your point, Chris, which is, what do we do then when it comes to the abortion issue? Really complicated, really complicated.
Now, Leandra, for you, what does this mean in terms of what are you going to do if you decide you don't want to have your baby at home?
My only choice is to drive the 48 miles away to the next hospital, the next closest hospital.
And you don't know, I mean, you got a little bit of experience in the baby making game, but you don't know when you're going to have to go to the hospital, right?
With my experience, I have a little bit of an idea, but I also have had pretty quick labors with my last 3 kids.
I know, 48 miles, gets to be a long way if you're having a quick labor, and you don't want to be one of those stories that we've heard, although more often than not, they end miraculously and well, but it's some police officer staring at you when it's supposed to be a doctor and having a baby.
My redheaded boy in that picture was a side-of-the-road birth baby.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.